welcome back to a new video. In this video I'm going to show you how to make a lolita blouse with only one pattern piece. It's really simple blouse that you can make. You only need the fabric that you have, some lace and rubber band. That's everything that you need for this blouse tutorial. I'm gonna show you like two different blouses that I have made with this pattern. The first one was kind of like a prototype version, so it's a bit different from the second one that I'm showing you. So yes, basically this is the first blouse that I made. It's made out of soft tulle, so it's see-through, but when you're wearing it underneath a JSK it doesn't really matter. And yes, the gathering on the neckline and on the sleeves is not that much. Like on the sleeves it's a bit more than on the neckline here. That is one of the things that was that I fixed on the second pattern. For this one I had the sleeve pattern and the bodice pattern were different, but for this second one they're the same. And here is the second blouse that I made. This is made out of chiffon. This is one of the Japan fabrics that I got and I showed you on the Japan haul. For this one, this is kind of like almost zero waist or minimum waist blouse. The only leftovers were like these little like triangles, 4 of these, so very little like scrap fabric overall. For this one, this is also kind of like modified version of the like full pattern that I'm gonna show you in this video, because the like width of the fabric was not enough, so I had to kind of like cinch in the pattern pieces a bit so that it's not as like frilly as it could be. Arm seam is now longer compared to the toe one, because that was like the problem on the first one, that it was like this measurement here was too tight, so it kind of like comes really high up into the armpits. So in this blouse there is not that problem, and the like lack of frill or like gathering on the neckline I have kind of like fixed with the like neck ruffle, so that I gathered it onto the neckline so that it's already gathered kind of when it's like pulled taut. So in that sense, like you can use these kind of little tricks to kind of make it appear more fuller than it actually is. So basically you can use any kind of material varying from chiffon to organza or tulle. For tulle I would recommend using like softer like bridal tulle that is meant for like clothing, instead of like the really like scratchy like underskirt or tulle skirt material that is supposed to be like really rigid and like scratchy on its own. So in that sense, like you can use any material that is kind of like flowy enough for this kind of like frilly effect. You could use cotton too, but cotton, like if it's too thick cotton, then it's not really like, it doesn't settle that nicely, so be careful if using like a bit thicker materials. But if it's like flowy and kind of like heavy-ish, then like you're good. But yes, let's get right into the tutorial then. Okay, so here is the pattern that you're going to need. So basically the whole pattern is just a rectangle that is 60 centimeter wide, and the height depends on how long you want the sleeve and or the bodice to be. After decided how long you want it to be, you need to cut corners out of the top edge, which are shown in the picture. So 14 centimeter on the side and 15 centimeter on the like neckline part of the pattern. Here is a layout how I place the patterns onto folded fabric and then just cut the pieces off. For me, the width of the fabric wasn't quite enough, so I folded the pattern from the middle just a couple of centimeters so I could fit in the pattern completely onto the folded fabric, and then just use the leftover 20 centimeter-ish for the neck ruffle. After cutting the pieces out, I laid them onto the floor in this kind of position and pinned them so that I could kind of like keep track what is right side and what is wrong side, and then sewed all of the 4 seams together like this. After sewing, I folded the pieces so that the top kind of like comes on top of the bottom piece, so that the sleeves are kind of like folded in two and the bodice pieces are right sides against each other. Alright, so here is the first prototype of the shirt. I did notice some improvement ideas that I added into the calculations of the pattern, but basically it should be like when you're done with the shirt, it should be something like this, and like how I did this, for example, I just latched them on like right side and wrong side together, like kind of like just like overlapping them, and then just sewing the little channel for the elastic. For like fabrics that doesn't unravel, this is okay technique, but if you're using like sateen or like organza or chiffon, then you can, or you should like finish off the raw edges either with like serger or like turning them in somehow, maybe adding like a turn for the like ruffle, like make extra length so that you can kind of like turn the edge with that. Sewed on a ribbon onto it so that it kind of like separates the ruffle, like separates from the rest of the bodice and the sleeves, so it looks a bit more like lively, which I like. And then for the sleeves, I also used a ribbon to make a channel for elastic and just like made it like that. For the waistline, I just made a channel and put a rubber band in there. For the tall version, the construction is really simple by placing the two fabrics, the right sides facing the same direction, and just top stitching the channel and then just like putting a rubber band in there. For the unraveling material, place the wrong side of the bodice piece and the right side of the ruffle against each other and sew from 1 centimeter from the edge, and then turn the seam so that the right sides are facing towards the same direction. Then top stitch the channel for the rubber band. For another option, you can also do the same thing but with a bigger or longer, wider ruffle piece, so that you kind of leave more extra ruffle above the rubber band too, so that you get like extra ruffly effect. Remember to cut the like seam allowance open from the corners. Make sure that there is no budges or creases that would make the like insertion of the rubber band difficult. So I decided to do a little demonstration on the construction of the seam or the like neck ruffle. I understand that the like seam construction like patterns or diagrams are not clear for everyone, so that's why I wanted to do this like with two totally different kind of like fabrics, so that like it's easier to understand. So this Pokemon fabric is the bodice part, and this rose pattern is the neck ruffle. So on the wrong side of the bodice, put the wrong side or the like right side of the neck ruffle onto the bodice piece, so both are facing the same direction. So after you've sewn on the two pieces, so this is the neck ruffle and this is the bodice, you turn everything so that so you turn the neck frill
onto the right side of everything so that the seam allowance is sandwiched between the two pieces like this. And then you can iron this seam open, or like what I usually just decide to do, like I don't like ironing that much, so I just kind of like, while stretching the seam open properly, I just top stitch it here, and that is what forms the a channel for the rubber band. So this is the option number one. So you have a little channel for a thin rubber band here. And if you want to have extra ruffle here, what you can do is, this is kind of like a short, but basically you do this. So you just kind of fold the fabric onto this side and then top stitch it over here. You can also top stitch it here so that like the neck ruffle stays in place better, and also like of course you need to like finish off this edge here, like either with a serger or a zigzag stitch, or like by folding it, whatever. Top stitching here so that the neckline or the like neck ruffle, extra neck ruffle, stays in place better, and also one here to make the channel for the rubber band. For this one, like especially if you use see-through material, it's really easy to follow the edge of the fabric. For thicker materials such as like cotton that I'm using here, you can kind of like feel where the edge of the like fabric goes. Somewhat easy to follow where the seam goes. But yeah, this is how you make it. On the back side it looks something like this.
Alright, that's it guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you ever end up making this kind of blouse, let me know. I would love to see photos. You can tag me on Instagram, or like, I don't know, like if you post a picture you're wearing the blouse, you can maybe like put it in your stories or tag me or something. Like, I would love to see your creations. It would be so amazing. But yeah, anyway, let me know if there's any trouble or like something unclear in the instructions of the tutorial, and I will try to help you. But yeah, I think that's everything for this video. We will see you next time. Bye.